Innovations, it's in their name. This morning, a game changer from our next guest.
Free software that detects failures before they even happen.
That's important. Let's compute this with Thor Schrock.
That'd be
Good to see you,
nice.
Thor.
Wait, did you say free?
In that, and before.
Was that a typo?
Free and prior to
Isn't that
the-
true? That's not.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. You've known this guy for long enough now. That you
He's
knew-
yanking my chain.
But
It's
what is Drive Advisor? What does
Yeah.
it do?
All right, so Drive Advisor, because Drive Advisor is so British, right? And we don't like anything like that.
Stop
you know?
it.
Drive Advisor is American. No, the Drive Advisor was taken, and so
Yeah.
we had to use Drive
Close
Advisor. So that's why. So it's driveadvisor.com, driveadvisor.com. And what it does, you install it on your computer, and it does nothing. It sits there
And
and
then-
watches your hard drive. And if your hard drive starts to fail, because hard drives don't just up and, it takes some time. They kind of ease into their
We
failure.
feel like it was an abrupt deal.
Yeah, it will
be-
all of a sudden stop. at
Yeah,
some
'cause the
point.
day it stops
But really,
working, it's
stuff
awfully
was going
abrupt.
on.
Months. Months
yeah.
before. And so when your hard drive goes from 100% health to 99% health, that can happen in the span of 6 months. So we say get a maintenance checkup every 6 months so we can check up on this. Drive Advisor fills in those gaps between the maintenance checkups. It's also a great product for people who are geographically distant that can't come in for a maintenance checkup every 6 months. Drive Advisor, you put it on the computer. If your hard drive starts to fail, whether it's a solid state or a rotating drive, it'll detect the failure. And this is the best part, it's free, right?
Yeah.
Everything is free now. Google's free, and the cloud failed last week, but that's not, you get what you pay for. Drive Advisor is free. There is no revenue model behind it. It's not ad supported. It does ask for your email when you first when you first install it. There you go, you're building a list, right? No, the only thing it uses the email for is when your hard drive fails, we don't want to count on you noticing a color change in an icon down by your clock
So you get
that
an
eventually
email
gets
you.
moved into your hidden icons, you never see it. We're going to send this, the program is going to send you an email saying we've detected a failure on a computer named this on drive C. It tells you what computer it is and
wow.
what drive. So if you have an office with like 20 computers,
sure.
Yeah.
you can install it on all the computers, and then it'll tell you which computer is failing and which drive in that computer is failing, so you can get it replaced before you end up in our data recovery
Well, I think
lab.
that's important because the average cost to recover this data, it's pricey. It's
Yeah.
not a couple $100.
Well,
it can get up there.
It's less with you.
Well, yeah,
but
even
it's
with
still
us, though,
real
it starts
money.
at $400,
Yeah,
and that's
right.
for the ones that are not too bad.
Those are the easy
but if
ones.
we have to open the drive up or take it in a clean environment, something like that, you're easily looking at $1,800 plus. So if we can catch that failure before it gets to the point where it's dead, and then here's the best part: so people install it on their computer and they're like, "Yay, my C drive's at 100%." Then I'm like, "Hey, you have a bunch of external hard drives around the house, don't you?" Well, yeah, everybody's got a ton of these old externals. Start plugging them in. And you find this one's at 50% health, this one's at 70%
wow.
health, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I was trusting these things.
Yeah.
They have all my
To
family
back up-
photos
yeah,
on
back
it.
up
Yeah.
Almost half of the work that we do in our data recovery lab is recovering failed externals. And so when you start, you can hook those up too. It'll tell you if those are healthy too. So it's kind of funny because you can see one person like installs it. So on the website at driveadvisor.com, it has a count of how many users we have and how many failed drives. So you'll see the user count go up by 1, and you'll see failed drives go up by 5. You know, like, is that real? I went back to Alfonso. I'm like, are these numbers real? And he's like, yeah, that person had 5 bad drives.
Wow, wow. So that is Drive Advisor.
American.
But there's something else called Schrock Core. Is that related?
Yes, it's our new 90-minute ab program.
I can't wait to try it.
Just like Lego Batman, we have a 9-pack.
If we're getting our exercise routines from a computer shop, we're in trouble. That's all I
That's
say.
a different segment.
Stranger things have happened.
No, the Schrock, it was kind of funny because it kind of came up in conversation, and I was like, hey, Adam, does Drive Advisor do this and do that? And he's like, yeah, it's part of the Schrock Core. I'm like, what's the Schrock Core? Where did this come from?
If you don't know
this
what it is,
Schrock
the rest
Core?
of us don't stand
Yeah,
a
and so I
chance.
didn't know either. And so I was asking him, like, what's the Schrock Core? And he says, well, the Schrock Core is Drive Advisor, Secure Updater, and Endpoint.
It's the package.
Those 3
Got it.
together
It's a
make up the
trilogy.
core of what we believe you need to have on your computer to stay safe and keep your data secure.
Got it.
It's like, wow, the Schrock Core. He's not even in the marketing department. He's a he's a coder, you know.
It should be.
Don't tell me.
But you also have something else coming out that's kind of cool, right? What else are you releasing here soon?
Before we went on the air, you were like, yeah, can you buy Endpoint from your website?
Endpoint, yeah.
And I'm like, last week you couldn't. this week you'll be able to, because we're launching a whole new version of the SchrockInnovations.com website. So it's kind of cool, because right now, if you go to our website, it looks like a dog threw up in like 2008. It's awful. And we own a web, it's like we have...
Well, I was going to mention something to you. I was having a little problem navigating.
Yeah, it's a little...
That's why I asked you. I said, where is Endpoint on your website?
Yeah, we're Secure Updater too. But no, the bottom line is, the website, we've been building websites for other clients, so we haven't really spent a lot of time on ours. And so like the whole weekend, I spent the entire weekend nitpicking the website, like this needs to change, that needs to change, these need to be unified. All the meat and potatoes is there, we're just getting all the looks down. But the new SchrockInnovations.com is a completely shoppable e-commerce website where you can build a computer, you can assemble it, you can put it all together.
Wow.
Eventually you'll be able to ship them.
Yeah.
We have all that put in, but it's all kind of turned off right now. Launch one thing at a time, please. But the cool thing is Endpoint. Again, if you're geographically diverse and you want, that's the dog throw up
This
site.
is the old one.
Yes.
This is the old site.
That's the old site.
It's going bye-bye this
It's going bye-bye. And so I dropped the URL. I should have given them the test URL for it. that test.SchrockInnovations.something
so we can show it,
URL. But yeah, I didn't think to do that before we went on the air. But anyway, because it's not quite ready yet. But no, the funny thing is that the website is going to be awesome, because now you can actually buy Endpoint and it deploys to your computer. It asks you like your name, your phone number, all that stuff, so it names it appropriately. It gets it all set up in the system, and then that way you're covered. And if you ever have a problem with a virus or anything, you get that virus-free guarantee.
So
Endpoint
is basically the gold standard for antivirus.
Absolutely.
Secure Updater is what closes all the loopholes in different programs on your computer, so the bad guys can't get in. And then Drive Advisor is the new product from Thor that locks down your stuff, and then that way you know if your hard drive's about to go belly up.
And it's all
Did I get it
part
right?
of it's all
much,
part
yeah.
of the Schrock Core.
Clatters up.
Thanks, Thor.
Thor, thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys. This is too